Hi, my name's Andy. I work for Diamond Drive Driving School. We're based in Derry in Northern Ireland. Today I'm going to discuss with you a couple of ways that you can actually do the parallel park exercise. This could be when you're preparing for a test or just to improve your own technique if you don't think you're 100% confident with it. Okay, so if it was a test, you'd be parked in this position. The examiner would tell you to pull up on the left before a parked vehicle, and that would be the target vehicle that they'd want you to use for the actual manoeuvre. So the first thing we have to do then is to actually get next to that car. Now you want to be approximately a door's width away from the vehicle so that the door mirrors don't bash into each other, and we're going to be finishing so that we're about alongside their door mirror on that door that you can see. Okay, so to do that we're going to keep the car really under control. So there's a lot of steering to get the vehicle out into that position, so the more control you've got over that, especially when you've got a lot of steering to do, gives you a chance to keep the car nice and accurate. And also that's one of the attributes that they're looking for when you're doing any manoeuvre. So I'll select your first gear. I can see there's nothing coming up ahead. Check the blind spot to make sure it's safe, find the bite, and now I'm just steering the car out as quickly as possible while keeping it under control. And this is going to help me line the car up a lot easier. Okay, so I can see the vehicle's out now, so I'm just bringing it round so I'm about that door's width away. So if you get that done nice and early, now all we've got to worry about is sort of straining up at the right time and ending up next to that door mirror that you can see there. So we stop in that position, and you can see there's a fair chunk of the car that you can see in that door mirror as well. Okay, so we stop in that position, apply the handbrake, and pop her into reverse gear. And I can just see that it's nice and clear. So again, check the blind spot, check behind us before we actually move off as well. So as I'm coming back now, I'm looking for that car to start appearing in that window like that. If you imagine where our rear wheels are under that back pillar, we just want to make sure that when we do apply some steering that we're not going to hit that car. And you can see there's a nice healthy gap there, and also in the door mirror there that the car's virtually disappeared. So because it's been a little while since I've checked around, I'm just going to check the blind spot again just to make sure that we're safe. Again, we can see some cars coming, but they're turning off. So at that point now, we're just going to put one turn onto the left. So one full turn of the wheel, so it looks exactly like it did before. So on this particular first one, I'm going to be splitting the steering up. So we put the one turn on. So we've got a little bit of time on our hands. So again, we're just checking around as we're coming back nice and slow, keeping the car under control at all times. That gives us more time to have a look around, make sure it's all nice and safe. So because you've got no steering to do for a little while, just frees you up to be able to do that. Now you can see there's a triangle forming in that mirror there with a curb just coming down. The more we come round, the smaller that curb's going to get, so that when it starts looking like it's going to be disappearing like that, we're just going to take that one turn off. So we're just going to do one turn to the right, just again to come back in a straight line. So you can see the bus is coming up, so I'm just going to wait for the bus to see if he's going to go past or if he's going to wait for me. Okay, so I'm just checking her out, make sure it's safe. I'm just coming back in a straight line, so I'm checking behind me as well. So I can see the corner of that car just disappearing now, so I'm going to put one turn on to the right. Again, just check around, checking behind us. So just stop because the bus has decided that it's shooting off, so we're just going to check that it's safe and that was the only vehicle that I need to worry about. Again, check behind us before we move off. And we're just getting a feeling now we put that one turn on, that the car's actually coming round where we want it to. We want to be bang in line with the driver's door of that target vehicle. So we're just making sure that's what's happening, because at any point we can adjust the steering. If we don't feel that's coming round enough, we can put more steering on. But it feels like it's fine at the moment, so I'm quite happy with that. So the car's coming round, so I'm doing all my observations still. Make sure I'm safe. So now I'm getting into this position here where I can see most of the way down the road with that door mirror. And I can see that I'm pretty much round with that car. So I'm just taking half the steering off. Now I'm not going to take all the steering off. Now I see I'm perfectly parallel. I can finish taking the steering off there. And you just straighten up, and you just got to bear in mind that if you're doing this for the test, you need to be stopped within 2 car lengths of that target vehicle. And you can see, even by splitting the steering up, I'm only just over 1.5 car lengths from that target vehicle. Luckily for me, people are getting in there and they're going to drive off, so I'm going to have to use a different car for the second one. And on the second one, the only bit of difference is, instead of splitting the steering up a wee bit, we're just going to be doing one lot of steering. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for that vehicle to move off now. You can see from that first one, the main things you need to concentrate on is the actual speed of the car, because that's going to give you more time to get your observation done, and it's also going to enable you to concentrate on the steering a wee bit more. Okay, so hopefully that car will be moving off before I lose my daylight. As he's getting his shades on there, so looking cool. And there we go. Right, so again, select first gear, and again we're just going to get ourselves out to the start position. So again, keeping ourselves safe at all time, just doing our observation, finding the bite, and then again we're going to steer ourselves out nice and quick to line ourselves up. And again, line ourselves up with that vehicle. So again, doors width away, straighten her up. Because that car's facing the other way, this is where using that door mirror is quite handy, because when you can see the vehicle appearing in that position there, you know that you've gone far enough. Okay, again, put the handbrake on, select reverse gear. Okay, just checking the blind spot, looking behind us before we move out to make sure that it's clear. And again, we're just now looking for the front of that vehicle to be appearing like that. That's good. And again, you can see it's disappeared in that door mirror. Again, checking around to make sure that we're nice and safe, make sure that motorcycle turns off. Check behind us again. And again, we're going to put one turn on to the left. So again, we've got a bit longer now before we have to do any steering to this. Again, we're just keeping it nice and slow, which is always the key, but that gives you plenty of time then to be looking around and making sure that it's nice and safe. Again, that triangle's forming in that door mirror. But the main thing we're going to concentrate on now is the angle between us and that car. You can see as we're coming round more and more, the angle's increasing, and we want to come round until we're approximately 45 degrees. So it's a little bit of trial and error in this. Again, you can wait till that triangle disappears, and you see the front corner of the car now is coming towards that mirror. So when you've got that kind of view there, that angle between you and that vehicle, that's around about perfect. So if in any day you stop and have a look around, if you're not 100% sure, again, nice and safe. So now what we're going to do, a bit of steering all in one go. So we're going to take the one turn off, and then we're going to go at least half a turn the other way at the same time. And all we're doing now is we're just getting a feeling for where that car's going to finish up. Like I say, we want to finish up next to the curb. So keeping it nice and slow, you're constantly looking around, you're constantly getting a feeling about where the car's going to finish. Now if you get into that position there, so the beauty about this is, we've only put half a turn on at the moment to the right. So if we get into that position and you're thinking, I think the back of the car's not too far off where I actually want it to be. If you do have any cars turn up, then obviously stop, follow them around, make sure that it's safe for us to carry on. That guy's doing a 3-point turn behind us, so we're just going to wait to see if he's going to pull up behind us or what he's going to do. Yeah, not too close though, chap, eh? So just make sure it's nice and safe. So like I say, if we think the back of the car's where we want it to be, just going to keep an eye on him because he's bound to walk around the front of the car. No, hold on. Again, just check around. sure he's gone. Make sure he hasn't sneaked back. That's the car. We can actually apply more steering, so if we can put on as much as we want, if we want to put it round to full lock, then we can do. It's no problem, because we know the back of the car's where we want it to be. All we've got to remember then is we've got a little bit more steering to take off when we're straightening off. So yeah, we're just checking around. We can see the car's coming around, and we're going to be coming around in line with that vehicle. So we can start taking steering off because we're 95% of the way around. And then when we're 100% sure that we're parallel, then we can finish it off and keep it nice and straight. And then straighten the wheels up, and again stop within the 2 car lengths. So that's 2 different techniques you can use to actually accomplish this manoeuvre. You can use the first technique where you've got 2 lots of steering, and that allows you to come in at a slightly shallower angle, but all you want to do is you want to get the back obviously towards the curb before you start steering it around. So you wait for the corner of the car to sort of go past by that pillar over there. And then we've got the second one, which you can sort of adapt when you've passed your test or whatever to get into tighter spaces. You can put more steering on if you get more comfortable at the start, and that'll just bring the car around a lot quicker. But that's something you can fudge around with. I'm just showing you a couple of techniques with different reference points, which will hopefully get you a lot more consistent, and then you can deal with it however you want to after that. Thanks for watching. I hope this has all been of a lot of use to you. Please leave your feedback. Always glad to see what you guys think. Thanks very much.